Hey everybody, Chris Bond 21 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts episode 14. On the last episode, we found ourselves inside of a whale in space. Don't question it, just roll with it. Where we encountered Riku, who seemed to be very interested in Pinocchio, a puppet who was somehow alive with the power of a heart, because it turns out, looks like Kairi's lost hers. And the only reason why Riku seems to have been teamed up with Maleficent is so that he can find Kairi's heart. And as we saw near the end of that episode, Riku fully embraced the dark side of the, well, not really the Force, but whatever the power side struggle is in Kingdom Hearts is what Riku's fully embraced. The darkness basically, the dark side of the darkness, which doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as the dark side of the Force, but regardless, he has embraced his evil side, and it looks like now he's teamed up with Maleficent to grab the other princesses in a bid to try to find Kairi's heart. And meanwhile, Sora and the gang kind of just sort of had to leave, and now we're rolling through to the next world. So we've already, well, I've already done the two next gummy ship paths because I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can. So there's two worlds that we could have gone to, and we find ourselves in front of this giant rock world thing here. It looks like a fishbowl, and the only reason why I haven't hit the disembark button is because there's a bit of a cutscene before we get started here. So without any further ado, let's get going. Okay guys, prepare for landing. Have I mentioned how much I hate the gummy ship text? It's just so slow. Land where? In the sea? We'll drown. Not with my magic, we won't. Just leave it to me. And that's it.
Come on, Sebastian.
Ariel, wait! Slow down! Don't leave me behind! Ah!
Oh, relax, Sebastian. They don't look like one of them. Right, Flounder?
I don't know. There's something weird about them.
What do you mean?
They do seem a little different. Where are you from?
We're from kind of far away. And we're not really used to these waters,
Oh, I see. In that case, Sebastian can show you how we swim around here.
Ariel! King Triton will not like this!
Oh, don't worry.
Easy for you to say. Okay, it's time you learn how to swim properly. Alright, so use the left stick to swim around, press O to rise, and square to dive, release them to stop. So this is a fun little world. Also, if it wasn't plainly apparent by that entire cutscene, we are in a world based on The Little Mermaid, which isn't one of my favorite Disney movies. It's okay, it's not bad. Some good songs in there. Not really one I go back and watch a hell of a lot of time, but it's serviceable. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It's kind of not really totally my cup of tea, but decent enough. I don't think it's bad, and I don't necessarily think it's the greatest one of my era of the 90 movies, but still passable. So there's a difference here between other worlds. Since we are a merman, swimming around is not exactly easy. Practice swimming with Flounder. Try to tag him. Alright, begin. I'm going to try not to do too much of a Jamaican accent there, because that could sound incredibly terrible. So yeah, we basically now have to deal with vertical and horizontal fighting, where we now need to go up and down. It's not too hard to get a grasp on, but they did a great fix to this in Kingdom Hearts 2. However, this world tends to get a ton of flack in both this game and the sequel, for a totally different reason in the sequel, but for this one, it's a lot of people don't like the whole mechanics here where you have to swim like this, up and down. So right here, the reason why they're not starting us off in a fight, and we're doing this little game of tag, is to basically acclimate us to the controls of swimming. So the camera movements are easy enough, but we're just trying to learn how to target, not really target, well, we could target Flounder, but, yeah, see, that's an easier way to get to him, but it's really just to show us how to move up and down, because there's going to be fights that are very annoying, that are going to go high, low, and it's not really a pain, but it is sort of like cumbersome to keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think, yeah, this is the top one. I think there's one here, and now I think the next one should be all the way at the bottom. It's basically what you get, like, if you've ever played Halo, and you know, like, the beginning section in Halo where they put you in the machine and tell you to look left, right, up, down. It's kind of like that, just to get used to the controls.
Good job. Now let's move on to self-defense.
Sebastian!
Yeah? Class is over. Good luck.
So yes, the Heartless have taken over the forms of jellyfish. Also, I love how they're in, like, the jellyfish, but their heads are in there. So it's like they just took over a bunch of normal jellyfish and they just stuck their heads in there. So yeah, fighting here is a little bit annoying because now instead of just enemies moving away from you like they will on a 2D flat surface, where they can just move back, and that was really fast actually. Not faster than I thought it was going to go. You can now move backwards and forward, so it's a little much of a issue. Also, if you haven't noticed, this is how the orbs and stuff fall. Pain in the butt if you're trying to collect money or the health orbs, because sometimes they float, sometimes they sink. I mean, we are in the ocean, and you figure we would just be moving along, but nope. So let's just free Flounder and Sebastian here. And a save point. Nice, one of the few save points here. I think we got a text. Those creatures chased us here. Oh no, those monsters might be heading for the palace too. I'm doing a terrible Sebastian, I'm so sorry. We better head back right away. But what if we run into more on the way back? I'm sorry, but we need your help. Please come to the palace with us. The trident markers on the wall point the way there. We won't get lost as long as we follow them. Okay, let's get going. Alright, so we're gonna have Ariel in our party, and I'm gonna switch her out with Goofy. I always like to put the Disney character in. So yeah, here we are. I'm gonna just land in the save point to heal myself up real fast. Again, this is so yeah, there's two ways you can get to the next world. You can go through that little gap thing here, or we can just, like she said, follow the trident marker. So Atlantica, as we're going to see this world is called in a second, because we actually didn't get the world title when we entered, but I think it's gonna pop up right now. Yeah. So this is Atlantica, and Atlantica is one of the bigger open worlds of Kingdom Hearts. Probably one of the biggest, because I'm going to go up as high as I can here. So if you look around, all that down there, you can go to all of that all the way to the edge. So this is a pretty big open area, and there's not a whole lot of things to explore here, but like I said earlier in an earlier video that there was going to be an issue with a world that had a very bad progression point that wasn't clearly explained to you. It's this world, and we're going to find that out before we reach the end of today's episode. So like she said, just follow the trident markers and you won't get lost, which, don't get me wrong, that's pretty helpful that there are these markers, or you would just sort of maneuver around and not really know where things were. So we're just going to descend, which is always funny when Sora does that, and head to these things called the calm depths. Now the calm depths are important for later in the level, but for right now we can't do anything with them. So the minute Sora enters this, we're going to be pushed down the current, because look how strong that is. And all it does is push you back into the area that we were just in. But you see the trident markers are pointing directly to that. So what you want to do is you want to hug this wall and just quickly slide in like that. Now over here I'm going to fight the Heartless, because believe it or not, you want to stay away from that middle gusher thing. Geyser. Gusher is a candy. Geyser is the thing with the water spout. I'm sorry about that. So we're going to fight these guys off, and once we finish with them, I want to show you guys something that's on the wall on the other side, because it's kind of cool. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's another shortcut similar to something we found in Deep Jungle. I think that should be it. Yeah. So if you come over here, you'll notice this little spiky, I think it's like a sea urchin bomb or something. I think if I use fire it'll work. So I'm going to just stand back and use fire on it, and yeah, it's glowing. You can barely see it's glowing, and I think it will explode. Okay, so this now created a shortcut back to where we just were, that big open area at the bottom. So if we want to go back to get here a little faster without having to go through the calm depths over there that we just went through and slide down that thing and miss it, we just go straight through here, and this will bring us right back up to the Undersea Valley. A little bit of a shortcut, not too much of a skip, but there is another skip later that I'm going to show you guys off too, which is pretty helpful to getting around here fast. So this is another small area. There's a trident marker that's pointing up. I'm going to fight a few Heartless. Also, I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video. I'm sorry about this, but I actually leveled up one level higher than I was at the end of the last video, so my MP went up. That's all that happened. I was kind of hoping to level up a little more, but it's not exactly been that easy, and I'm doing pretty well actually right now, even though the final boss of this area can kiss my ass, because it's a pain in the butt. Also, these are the chests. I didn't mention this up top, but these are the chests in Atlantica. The white ones you can hit, and then you got to just sort of angle yourself correctly, and you'll pick up whatever items in there. I'll try to show it off if I find one in the next area, but I think we'll head back to the Undersea Valley before the end of the video, and I'll be able to show it to you. Actually, might be in this room, because there are different colored seashells, and depending on what color they are, determines how you can open them. So I'm gonna quickly just fight these guys, because you actually can't open the chest still, just like normal chests. You can't do it unless the command gauge is blue. Again, I hate Kingdom Hearts 1's system for that. It's sort of annoying. I think there might be... Yeah, there's one. Oh, good. There's one right over here. So yeah, this one's blue. And of course, as soon as I descended upon the little gorge here, some Heartless popped up. Ah, damn it. I'm actually doing... So I like this one, but I hate this level only because of how it cripples your combos. So for example, like if Sora had Hurricane Blast or any of those cool like aerial moves, like even Sliding Dash, you can't use any of that here because... well, we're not on the ground. So this one is blue, which means you have to use Blizzard. There's also a red one, and I believe there's a yellow one, and it just corresponds to Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder. Magic is kind of important in here because of something you have to do with the final boss. I'll explain more about that when we get to that point. But for now, just keep that in the back of your head, that magic is going to kind of be important. So if you don't have a lot of ethers or strong, well, not really strong magic, but if you're not really good at using the magic, that might be a good time to maybe start using it, even though magic, like I said, is really not my favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts 1. I just think it's too limited. Maybe if you excel in magic, it does more damage. Again, I've never pressed that option, so someone in the comments let me know if that's a thing that happens, because I honestly don't know. I'm just going to fight this last guy here, and I'm going to move on, because we're getting kind of bogged down. If I'm skipping Heartless fights on a regular world where I can easily walk, of course I'm going to skip them here in Atlantica, because it's just too much. So we're making our way, fighting these guys with the javelins. I always love these guys. They're pretty cool design. Yeah. Ow. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Yeah, so there's a yellow one down there, if you can see on the right that I'm passing by. So use Thunder on that, and it'll open up. So it's kind of cool they give you like these new chests to kind of deal with. Just gonna fight him real fast. Yeah, see, I hate this because you push him away, and then you gotta go after him, and then he moves back, and it's ugh. You know, just have him be on land, and it's so much easier. That's why I love it when I get past Atlantic in this game, because it's smooth sailing after this level. No funny gimmicks anymore, and I'm taking a lot of hits. I'm very worried already that I'm not gonna be in a good spot for the boss, because I actually did a practice run of this Let's Play once, and whew, I think I lost to the boss here about 10 times, and I had to go back and level up, and yeah, it was not fun, and I was about the same level I am now, so not going to be pretty. So we're going to enter Triton's throne room.
That was too close. As long as I have my trident, I will not tolerate those creatures inside this palace.
Daddy?
Oh, Ariel, when will you listen? It's dangerous out there. Strange creatures lurk outside. Behold, you swim before the ruler of the seas, His Majesty King Triton. And who are they?
They helped us fight off those creatures.
They don't look familiar.
We're from an ocean very far away.
Yup, we came to find the keyhole.
The what?
What's that?
Well, it's a...
There's no such thing, certainly not here.
But Daddy...
Ariel, not another word. You are not to leave the palace. Is that clear? Perhaps I'm being too strict. I'm just concerned for her safety. Of course, Your Majesty. But I must admit, now I'm quite curious about this keyhole. That need not concern you, Sebastian. Have you anything to report? Just as you suspected, Your Majesty, they seem to be coming from Ursula's grotto. I knew it. That sea witch is up to no good again. A sea exile from the palace has taught her nothing. Yes, she poses serious danger. And I told you to keep Ariel away from such danger, did I not?
Your Majesty, please,
So it looks like King Triton knows a little something about keyholes and something else, which we'll explain in a little bit. Before the end of this episode, I'll bring it up because it's a funny little fact. It doesn't quite line up with the series as it went on, but we'll address that in a little bit. So we're basically just going to head off here, and this isn't really the point yet where the progression issue comes in, but it's about to. Trust me, it's going to be bad. This drove me nuts the first time I played. I actually left this level alone. I completed the rest of the game. Pretty sure I beat the game. And then came back here after, like, near the end. Come to my grotto. I want to show you something. There it is, see? So, yeah, we'll head over. So, yeah, you see this little dolphin here? Remember him because he's very, very, very stupidly important. And I should heal. Yep. Again, I really wish... I got max... I think also I told a bit of a lie. I not only got MP up, but I also got max items. But that just helps my items in my little stock drawer there for my potions and stuff. So that doesn't really help me with things that I can equip. Also, that big jellyfish thing I was fighting, I hate that guy for a lot of reasons because they divide into smaller forms. So even after you feed him and get the whole health bar down, he's gonna try to kill it. Like, he'll try to split. I don't know if this one will do. I think he already... Yeah, this is it. The smaller ones. He'll turn into 4 of those, which is flippin' annoying because it's like no matter how fast you try to kill him, he'll still split. So it's like, what's the point of having an enemy that you can defeat the health bar with and then splits into little forms? I feel like that's such a cheap little tactic right there. Just let me kill him. If I don't do it fast enough, then he splits. Understandable. That seems like, you know, I should get better at killing him or get better at killing him faster. So yeah, we've killed all those things. And yep, Flipper. Remember Flipper here because he's very important. Also, this is brilliant. I love that he's right next to me. So you see this? See how nothing's popping up right now? Remember that too. Remember that. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So let's enter the grotto. That's how Sora opens up the rock. It's kind of cool. So this is Ariel's grotto. There's no talking in here. There's just text. And there's also some little references in here that I'll point out in a second. Look at all the wonderful things Flounder and I have collected. I think it's all from the outside world. Someday I want to see what's out there. I want to see other worlds. Does that sound strange? No, not at all. I used to feel the same way. Used to? I mean, I still do. Hey, why don't we try looking for that keyhole you were talking about? But your father said, oh, he treats me like a little girl. He never wants to let me do anything. He just doesn't understand. Oh, Sebastian. So, yep. Now that we have control in Ariel's grotto, gonna go down here for a second. I think that... Yeah, so there's the... Next to this thing are the forks, the dingle hoppers from The Little Mermaid. There's a wind-up doll here that if you examine and it turns, it actually plays the prelude from Final Fantasy. I don't know if you'll hear it. It's kind of very low. But it does that. I think that's it. There is a... I think there's a chest that looks like a chest, but it's fake. Yeah, I think this one supposedly looks like a chest from the game, but it's not a real one. There's something else here, but we'll get that later. It involves a torn page. There's a torn page here in the grotto, but I won't pick that up now, just in case I forget about it. So we'll slide out because the cutscene has the trigger. Always love that.
Ha! Those impudent fools will never find the keyhole. But the girl could prove useful, and I've got the heartless on my side. Triton, my old friend, your day is coming.
So it seems like Ursula is looking for. So now this is it. This is the part where the game isn't very clear. So the game just told us we're looking for the keyhole. Now that could be anywhere and, you know, be connected to anything. So it's hard to know exactly where to go. So remember Flipper that's floating around? I think he's going to pass us right now. Now remember 2 seconds ago, nothing was next to him. Now you can grab onto him. And so I don't know if you're supposed to do it in this room, but what you're supposed to do is grab onto him here. And when you think you're near the exit, let go. I always do this. I don't necessarily think you have to, because watch what's going to happen when we enter back into the undersea cave. You should see him... Well, actually, no, it's the next room. Once we get here into the calm depths, in that big open room with the geyser, you should see him float by. Yep, so there he goes. He just ran all the way into the... So he's gone back into the undersea valley. Now pay attention to that, because this is where the important thing is. And so the game doesn't hint at you to do anything with that dolphin. And now if you remember, in that first time before we entered the grotto, I tried going near him, And what happened exactly? Oh, that's right, nothing, because I couldn't latch on to him. But now, all of a sudden, I can. So what's up with that? So let me just finish killing this guy off, because these guys actually get 15 points of experience, and I could really be using the leveling. I really hope I can level up before we get to Ursula. I really do. So we're going to head out into the Undersea Valley. And now, I don't think we'll see him right away. It would be awesome if we did, because I've been actually pretty lucky lining up with this guy. We have to find Flipper. He's somewhere around here. And also, we can't lock onto him unless we kill all the enemies. So we're probably going to have to get into quite a few little fights here, just to clear it out. Oh, great. Now here comes another one. See, I kill him and he splits. I hate that. It's like, it's so unfair. Like, Ariel hit him as much. It's like, sometimes they disappear. Like, that's cool. I like it when they just die. But then they do this thing where they split off into little pieces. Now, I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much, because like I said, I want to level up. But again, it's so awkward. So yeah, there goes Flipper. I think I can just make it. Yep, got him. Okay, so you have to latch onto him. That went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. And you can't turn the camera, so I'm sorry for the crude angle. But eventually he'll take you down and lead you through the calm depths. This is the only way to get up here right now. And he's going to throw us out over here. This is the only way to get here. You cannot get here any other way. You need to use the dolphin to get here. Now, the game didn't make that abundantly clear, and I just accidentally pushed myself out. Oh, great. That's lovely. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me move up a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, I kind of slipped on my controller and I went backwards. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is the only way. Actually, I think he popped back out and he pushed me. I was looking down for a second, so I didn't see. I'm going to rewatch the footage, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And that's how you get through this. But it wasn't very obvious that that's what you had to do. So originally when I played this, I thought I didn't do something correct. I thought I left something undone in another world or something. So I didn't think anything of it. And I totally thought I screwed up the game and that I messed up and that something went wrong. So I left and I went and I did the rest of the game. And I didn't end up coming back until I think near the post-game stuff after I'd beaten it, just to finish this world off. So like I said, there's a world you can skip. This is one of them, or it's the one on the opposite side. So we now need to enter this sunken ship. There's two ways to enter. There's a way up top and there's a way in through this side. I'm gonna go through the side because I was there. And while we go in there, it looks like something's in the water. So there's nothing in here except for this one little chest. So we'll head over here. But before we can open it, it kind of triggers a weird little scene. Yeah, don't worry, he can't hit you from in here. So this is the shark. I don't think he has a name from the movie, but it's the shark that was at the beginning of The Little Mermaid, and he's sort of a mini-boss. So we're going to open this up. Its shape reminds me of something. Crystal Trident. Alright, so we can leave. And now I think we can just go right back to Ariel's grotto. You can, I think, yeah. So like Sabor in Deep Jungle, the shark is kind of a mini-boss slash... not really. You can fight him if you want. You're not forced to fight him. I could leave right now if I want to. I'm gonna fight him. Actually, I'm gonna put Ariel on because I don't want to die. He's annoying because he has these weird like snapping moves and spin moves, so he can take a lot of damage from you. And I'm not doing so hot right now, but I'm gonna try my best to knock him out. You can try to do that like tech attack thing if you hit him fast enough. I'm doing pretty good right now. Ariel's probably helping out a bit. Yes, got him, and 100 points of experience. That's all you get, but it's good to get it off. So I want to show you guys a shortcut to get back to the grotto. So if we want to go back to the grotto, it's a long way, basically. You think we have to go through the calm depths, we'd have to swim back out, we'd have to go back into the Undersea Valley, then go into the cave, and then swim all the way back. But if we go over here, we'll head to the Undersea Gorge, and this is going to take you to a small little dead end over here. So this is all that's here. You can go up, but it's blocked. So what you want to do is you want to examine this and hit it. Okay? So we're going to ride up this stream of water, pop open the chest, and look where we are. We're right in front of Ariel's grotto. So that's a super, super cool shortcut to get right back over here. I love that one. It's not that much of a pain to go all the way back, but it's kind of cool that they made the little shortcut to get right back in here. So looks like that crystal trident resembles this thing on the wall. So let's take a quick look at this.
Ariel, you've disobeyed me again. I told you not to leave the palace.
Daddy, no! How could you?
Young man, you're not from another ocean. You're from another world, aren't you?
Huh?
Then you must be the key bearer.
How did you know?
You may fool Ariel, but you can't fool me. You don't know your dorsal fin from your tail. As the key bearer, you must already know one must not meddle in the affairs of other worlds.
Of course I know that, but
You have violated this principle. The key bearer shatters peace and brings ruin.
Oh, Sora's not like that.
I thank you for saving my daughter, but there is no room in my ocean for you or your key.
My, the poor child suffers such deep sorrow. What a pity. If only there was something we could do. Wait, maybe she can be of some help. Yes, maybe she can be of some help to you.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, she would surely help you. She'd make all your dreams come true. Ursula can help.
You called, my dear?
You're Ursula. Well, I was just wondering if...
It's all right. Helping others is what I live for. Let me guess. You wish to see other worlds. That shouldn't be too hard. After all, your new friends came from another world.
What?
But they had special help. That mysterious key. Now, cheer up, sweetie. You have something special, too.
Huh?
Now listen carefully.
So real quick before we end it off there, on a bit of a cliffhanger note, because I'm not going to head out right now because I don't think it's another cutscene, but I want to talk about what Triton just mentioned real fast before we end off this video. So he mentioned, and this is the first time in the series that we know about this, the potential possibility of there being other Keyblade wielders, and that he knows about them. Now this isn't entirely clear what this means, because as we learned from the other games in the series, we've never gotten any confirmation that any other Keyblade Masters passed through Atlantica, so not entirely sure what he knows or how he knows it. It might just be from maybe something he's read, maybe there's some sort of shared universe. It's unclear as to how he's aware of any of that, considering from at this point in the series we haven't really met a lot of characters that know about the Keyblade or that there are other characters from other worlds. So it's kind of weird that Triton is this person that knows about this stuff, and the other games in the series don't really support this, but this is where the games series first started hinting that there were potentially other Keyblade Masters other than Sora, and that they might not all have been good guys. So this was actually kind of a cool little hint, wink, wink. I doubt they had everything planned at this point, way back at the beginning, but kind of a nice little reference lore drop there, and it fits in nicely with the rest of the series, even though to this day we've never seen the other Keyblade Masters interact with Atlantica, so it's unclear as to how exactly he knows that. Again, something to think about, something to examine. There's plenty of theories on what it means and how it all relates. But that's for you guys to think about while we wait for the next part, because unfortunately that's the end of this video. We ran a little bit to 30 minutes, but I do have to cut out that part where I had to swim back on Flipper, so that should knock it down a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the next part.